Welcome everybody to our product panel today. It is Monday, September 17th, 2018, and we are excited to talk about back to school. Whoa, what a whirlwind. I only have one kiddo in school right now, and me and the panelists are going to introduce ourselves and our families so you have a little bit of an idea of who we are and what our backgrounds are. But I am amazed at how many people's lives are impacted by back to school. Even if you don't have kids that are in school yet, or your kids aren't in school anymore, or you don't have kids at all, everybody is impacted on some level by the whole back to school happening and schedule shifting and everything else. The academic calendar is a real thing. So we're going to dive into a few questions. We've got some amazingly busy parents on the call. They're going to be sharing with you a lot of their ins and outs of how they're using Isagenix to help them this time of year, how their routines have shifted now that back to school has started, and we're going to dive into some of those. So at any point, if you have questions or things you want people to clarify, go ahead and pop it in the chat. But if you're watching this recording, absolutely feel free to reach out to any of us on the panel or post a question in Lean Body for Life or in any of your product pages, and we can definitely help you out because there are a lot of nuances to this time of year, and we want to make sure you get your questions answered. So I'll introduce myself first, and then I would love to turn it over to my panelists to introduce themselves. So my name is Rachel Briscoe, and I have been loving Isagenix products for 11 years. I have a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, and we have a baby on the way due in 3 months. By baby number 3, you kind of just forget. December 31st is our due date. And so we have a kiddo who's just started his 2nd year of preschool. So I'm going to be speaking to, even at that level, with only one kid in school, everything else is also shifting in our lives because of this time of year. So I'm excited to share on that front. And one of our panelists, who's a very busy mom, just got done getting her kiddos fed and is heading to work, is not on yet, but as soon as she gets on, we'll have her introduce herself. But first, I would love for our other panelist, Jenny Wood, to go ahead and unmute and introduce yourself. Jenny, tell us how many kiddos you have, their ages and grades, and how long have you been using Isagenix for?
Perfect. Thank you so much. So I'm Jenny Nelson Wood, not to be confused with Jenny Nelson, as my maiden name is. But I have been loving Isagenix for about 5.5 years. I found it when my youngest was a 5.5-month-old baby. And now they are 12, 10, 8, and 5.5. They're in 6th, 4th, 2nd, and 3-day-a-week kindergarten. And recently we've been homeschooling, and now they're in a private school as of this year. So it's been a definite adjustment to getting them back in school and us on a different schedule. And there's definitely more, prep work before they go to school, and then a lot more downtime in the middle of the day to get different things done. So thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you. Okay, so what we're going to start with talking about is how back to school, the routine has shifted our lifestyles and how Isagenix is playing a role in that. And so Jenny and I will speak to that a little bit because obviously our kiddos are different ages. My oldest is still younger than her youngest. And so we're going to be able to give you the whole span of, you said 6th grade, Jenny, is your oldest, right?
Yeah.
All the way down to I'm about to have another baby. So it's like we're going to be able to give you a lot of information about how this time of year has shifted. And so one of the things that I'll speak to is that even though I only have one kiddo in school, if you're involved in a church group or you're involved in some sort of like a mom's group or a parents group, how many things revolve around the academic schedule? I'm in a group called MOPS. It's Mothers of Preschoolers, and it goes in alignment with the school year. So we start in September and we end in May, just like the academic calendar. And so even like church groups and Bible studies and things like that, so many activities that we're a part of, they start or they have a different schedule once the school year starts. So even though I only have one kiddo in school, this time of year looks so different for us than it did over the summer. And I bet Jenny will feel the same way, and she'll be able to share a little bit on that. And so our schedule has shifted so much because now we have a little bit more structure, which is great because we have 3 days a week that we're bringing my son to preschool. But then on the other 2 days of the regular week, I have a Bible study and I have MOPS. So it's like every morning we have something. So we're getting up, getting ready, running out the door. And Isagenix has played a big role in that. And I mean, obviously I've been using products for 11 years, so way before I even had a husband or kids, Isagenix has been a part of my life. But I love how it's played a role in all of this because Like, for instance, not all mornings am I going to have my crap together, you guys. It is real life. Most mornings, like I have a shake every morning. So I grabbed a bunch of like my go-to core products right here. I have a shake every morning, and I have to make another one for my kids to split because I don't like to share. But my kids also love yogurt. And so one of the hacks that I love, especially for back to school, and I don't want to hop my kids hop them up on like a whole bunch of sugar, especially before I send them off for the day and their little brains are worrying. And I'm like, sorry, teacher, but here's my hyped up on sugar kiddo. But what I love to do is we get plain Greek yogurt, and we'll do that, and we'll put some of the hydrate in it. My kids like the orange hydrate in it. But that way it's like 9 grams of sugar instead of like 36, which is what most flavored yogurts are. And so we do that, and we'll put like pumpkin seed on it and blueberries, and it's just like, and they can make it themselves, and they love to watch it change colors, and it's super fun. And so that's been really helpful for like quick breakfast. But the other big thing that Isagenix has done for us is that, I was just telling Jenny about this before the call, I like to have my son's little snack prepared so that he's got all these like little things, like some cheese and some grapes, and he always gets like half a bar, an Isagenix bar in his snack. But, I like to give him some variety and different colors and things, because depending on what color they're learning that week or what letter they're learning that week, I want him to have options. Some mornings, like this morning, I'm fighting a cold, which I'm going to talk about in a second, and I have not been sleeping very well. I'm almost 6 months pregnant, and I wake up this morning, and he didn't wake up till like 20 minutes before we had to leave. And guess what his snack was for school? Here, dude, throw this in your backpack. We don't even have any clean Tupperware. This morning he got a whole bar, and I'm like, you get no variety today. And he was stoked. He got a lemon bar. That's his favorite. He's like, Mommy, can I have the whole thing? I'm like, yeah, put it in your backpack. Woo! I was like, Mom, win, even though it was because I did not plan ahead and because I did not have my crap together, and my son was out of his mind excited because he got a whole lemon bar that he did not have to share with his sister. The other big routine change for us is that with kids starting things so early in the morning, so early, 8:30, 9 o'clock, that means like for my husband, for him to get a good workout in, he started CrossFit a couple weeks ago, he has to go to the 6 a.m. class. So let me tell you, if you have a husband who has to get up early and you want him to still be a husband that you love by the end of the day, you need help. Like Jenny's nodding like, yes, help. I love that I can shove this in my husband's pocket before he goes out the door, and he's also very excited. But this is an e-shot. This has got the yerba mate, got all the adaptogens, amazingness. Same with this, Ionics, more adaptogens. And again, if you don't know what any of these products are, we can definitely go into it, but we want to make sure we're able to like tell stories and stuff. But having such early workouts has made these products really essential for him to be successful. So like the whole performance line, like the Nox, he actually has one of these before he goes to bed at night because the effects of it stay in your body for 24 hours. I didn't know that. So just like little things like that about our routine that have shifted, like earlier mornings for us, like getting up earlier so we're up before our kids, earlier workouts, kid vitamins. I mean, I'm going to go through like my favorite products later, but as far as routine goes, that has been the biggest shift for us, is like we need more convenience more than ever now that we have something every single morning. And so Jenny, and I see that Shauna's on too, but Jenny, while I'm getting Shauna caught up, go ahead and share how has your routine shifted now that you guys are in back to school mode, and also talk about your homeschool years, because I know you're not homeschooling anymore, but I know we have homeschool parents that are going to watch this recording, and so I want them to kind of hear like, oh, how does this apply to me, kind of a thing. So how has your routine shifted, and how has Isagenix helped you with that?
Yeah, so I can kind of trying to remember, I'm probably not as far into like where my kids use as many of the products on a day-to-day basis as you are. They definitely use them sporadically, and we probably even use them more when it comes to sporting events, because we're super busy during sporting events. So the convenience of having, the sticks of amped hydrate, I just handed them out in the baseball dugout yesterday because it's like still 90 degrees here. And people, like, we're still playing double headers of baseball. And so I'm like, here, Jace, here's a couple ones, add it to your water. And then all the other kids are like, what are those? What are those? What are those? So we just, hand them out. So routine wise, I'm trying to think about it. So when I was a homeschool mom, We did 1 day a week where we went to a co-op. And so those days, I had to get up really, really early and really plan out our whole day. A lot of those days I would personally cleanse because then I didn't have to think about feeding myself. For my kids, it was really easy to get them to drink one or half of a shake. I pulled out the Isagenix Pro because I think this is, for us at least, the easiest way to really provide variety, but not have tons of different kinds in the house. So we have the Isagenix Pro, and then we add, we add a banana to it, or we add PB Fit, or we add creamy peanut butter to it, or you can put fresh berries in there to really switch it up to hit whoever is, asking for that shake. And my kids are not early eaters. So when they wake up and I'm like, what do you guys want for breakfast? And they say nothing most days. So it's really, really convenient, especially if we're running late, to just be able to whip up a shake really quick and say, okay, this is not a non-negotiable. Like, you need to go with some protein in your brain. So here, have this. It's really fast. And then for me too, if I'm, hitting the ground running for the day and I have meetings that are back to back to back, or I have appointments, it's really easy for me as I'm getting ready to take them to school to know that I can just hurry up, make a shake really quick. I usually put some granola or some oatmeal in it to keep me fuller longer. And then I can run out the door and I've been fed and I don't have to worry about, all of the cleanup that you have to do on top of just getting them ready for school. Another thing, having little convenient snack packs on hand. So when you do run out of snack, like Rachel was talking about, or when they need a snack in between, 2 games, that's a lot of the times, we're running from games where we use these. I'm just like, well, here's some whey thins, or I'll keep it in my purse. And when they're crying because they're hungry, or we're on our way to school and they're hungry, I could just pull it out and say, oh, here you go. And so it's really easy to keep these products on hand because they don't have to be refrigerated and you don't have to worry about them, going bad in a short amount of time. So that's another thing. I can really speak to what Rachel was speaking to about the routine of getting up and going to the gym. If I don't get up and go to the gym either first thing on Monday, Wednesday, or Friday, or right after I take them to school on Tuesday and Thursday, then I don't go. And so I have, my AMP Nitro first thing in the morning because I want to save my e-shot and have that later in the day so I can have the nice sustained energy. So I'll take the Nitro and then I do an e-shot. And if I don't keep these hidden from the kids, then I have 2 older kids who like to split an e-shot before they go to school. And half an e-shot, for me, gives them some good mental clarity so they can be on point in school rather than just having boundless energy that the teacher's not going to know what to do with. And I'm trying to go back to, when I was a homeschool mom, but we used, the bars a lot of the time when we would pack a lunch to go to our school day, or if we were really in the thick of doing homeschool, how much easier is it to give your children a meal replacement bar that, is a complete meal, or a meal replacement shake that takes 30 seconds from the time that you make it to the time that you drink it, rather than disrupting your whole school day to make a 3-course meal in the middle of the day. And then it doesn't really, maybe feed your brain. So the convenience and the ease of Isagenix has really just transferred, I guess, how simple it is to feed yourself good quality nutrition without being a slave to the kitchen.
Yeah, I love that. And I'm going to ask Shauna to share here in a second too. But one of the things I really had to think about, I had to take a step back and think, how does Isagenix impact my routine? Because it's such a big part of my routine and has been for over a decade, and for 5.5 years for Jenny. And I know a couple years for Shauna, that it's like, oh my gosh, I actually use more products than I thought I did because it's just my food. People are like, oh, I don't know if I could add that to my routine. No, replace. Trust me, you'll have so much more convenience. You'll save some money and you're going to feel better. So I think that was my big thing is I started pulling out, you guys, I just started pulling out all our normal products that we use. And I'm walking into my office with my hands full and my husband's like, where are you going with all that? I'm like, I didn't realize how much stuff we use every single day, but that's why we feel so good. So it's been such a blessing. And Shauna, now that, you are on, I want to have you introduce yourself, but you guys real quick. So this is the epitome of busy back to school mom life. So Shauna is between like kids coming home from school, dinner, blah, 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 all that, running to an appointment that she has, and she has like 13 more minutes with us before she has to hop off. So Shauna, I'm going to unmute you. You're driving. Don't you touch anything. I'm going to unmute you. I would love for you to share how many kiddos you have, their ages and grades, and how long have you been loving Isagenix? And then I will go ahead and ask you a quick question to share with everybody before we don't get you anymore.
Hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm actually just leaving soccer practice and on my way back to work, but I have 3 kids. My oldest is 11. Then I have a 9-year-old and a 4-year-old. And then I think you asked how long we've been using products, like 2 years or so. Is that it?
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah. Okay, so Shauna, what Jenny and I were just talking about is now that back to school season is upon us, how has your routine changed? So think about like summer. I know summer was crazy for you guys with travel and everything, but now that it's back to school and you're back into that routine, how has that changed for you? And then where are the conveniences that Isagenix has helped with?
Oh man, this year our routine completely changed because I have 3 kids, 3 different schools, 3 different start times, 3 different pickup times. Wow. So we're kind of all over the place. And so it was kind of hard for me to even have my normal workout time. So I decided to change that up, and I start my workout at 5:30 in the morning. So I get up at 4:30. But I start, and I just have my nitro in the morning before my workout. And then by the time I come home, my kids have already gotten up, or my 2 oldest ones have gotten up, and they make their own shakes now. But they love just shakes plain, but they also like to add, we've done a couple of occasions where we get acai bowls, and so they make their shake thick, and they add granola, they add fruit, they add some of the Isadelites in it, so it's thicker and more chewy for them, so they sit and eat their breakfast instead of drink their breakfast. But it's nice because, yeah, it's easy cleanup in the morning. We don't have a lot of time. Then I take them off. They make their own lunches, but their main part of their lunch is a bar. So they each get a bar. We go through tons and tons of bars. And then they get some other snacks and food. But we've really tried to change their lunch because it was probably my least favorite part of the day was making my kids' lunch. So we've tried to add in a lot more Isagenix snacks because it makes it easy. Lots of the whey thins, my kids love them. I have not given my kids e-shots. That was a nice one that Jenny said to share it. My kids have a lot of energy, but like the mental clarity would be really great because I have to have an e-shot, and I save mine for the afternoon after I'm like maybe halfway done with my work day. And then, yeah, we usually all have our dinner, and then my kids we try to either share for them.
All right, I think we're losing you real quick, Shauna, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm not sure if you're going through a spot that maybe is a little bit with less service, but I love what she talked about, you guys. I actually didn't realize that Shauna's kids were all in different schools. Like I knew that they all had different start times, but I didn't piece together that it was like everything. She has 3 different routines that she has to go through. And so for her to rely so much on Isagenix for that is such a massive clue, because I only have 1 kid in school and our life is completely uprooted and totally different. And Jenny has 4 kids who went from homeschool to private school and like sports. As soon as I think we're going to have my son join like a STEM program after school. And I'm like, how are we going to add 1 more hour to our routine? These women have like sporting events that they're going to here, there, all of that. Like it's bananas. I know back to school is like nice because it's structured, but it's such a crazy time. So the other thing that I want to talk about really quickly, and I'm going to touch on this, and Jenny and Shauna, if you guys want to jump in on something, you can. Otherwise, we'll go into our last topic pretty quickly because I want to keep it to the 30 minutes. But I admittedly have been fighting a cold tooth and nail for the last few days, and I am miserable. And I am like kicking myself because I love every year, I love using the Isagenix. I love using the Sea Light. I love using all these amazing products that Isagenix gives us to help us have the healthiest back to school season. And I did not order any over the summer. And so now I'm sick and I just put in an order today. And I could not believe that I waited till I was already sick to do it. Don't do what I did. Order it now. We also have amazing oils, and I want Jenny to share because I don't have it with me again because I've ordered it today. But I'm telling you guys, like, we cannot claim to cure, treat, prevent, diagnose any diseases. However, what I will claim is that our bodies are freaking amazing, and if you give it the right stuff and the right fuel, they will do miraculous things. We rarely get sick. But I know back to school and the fall and the change in weather is notorious for kids coming home with stuffy noses, foggy heads, scratchy throats, a cough, like I see every 2-year-old I see has got like crusted snot on their face. Like, it's just a thing. It's like, hello, September, snot everywhere. And so for us, like, that what has been so important to help me stay healthy, and which I did not do this year, and I'm kicking myself for it, but what has been so helpful to help me stay healthy, help my kids stay healthy, and my husband, again, like our vitamins, everyone takes their vitamins every single day. Like, that's essential. I love that Isagenix just launched oils. I'm going to have Jenny share the Airway oil because I don't have that one, even though I should. But we have other oils that we use that I'll talk about when we kind of go over our like go-to Isagenix shopping, our grocery list. But it's just, you guys, it's just so important to be proactive with your health, be so proactive, because this time of year, it's like everyone gets shocked that all of a sudden the plague is going around and everybody's sick. I'm like, why are we shocked? It's September. It happens every year. All my teacher friends, we do teacher care packages for our teacher friends, and we send them the Isagenix, we send them the Sea Light, we send them all the little goodies that are going to help them stay their absolute healthiest. And I'm excited to add the oils into that as well. So real quick, because I want Jenny, Shauna, and I are going to share our like go-to non-negotiable products that you guys have to make sure are on your auto ships. But Jenny, can you hold up so everyone can see the Airway oil and what you shared with me about how you've been using that?
Yeah. So I picked this up. I picked up one of 2 oils. I've actually been a faithful oil user for a long time, so I was really stocked up when we released our oils. But I wanted to see how our lavender, how it kind of compared. And then also my daughter has been asking for one to help her breathe more, which she doesn't use it now that I have it, but she wanted me to have it. And I knew that it was ordained, the reason I bought it. So I have it. It's our little Airway blend. It has eucalyptus as the main ingredient, but then it has lemongrass, peppermint, tea tree, grapefruit, rosemary, and thyme or however you say that. But I went to a concert on August 31st, and I ate off of my friend's fork. And she's like, oh, you don't want to do that? I have a sore throat. I'm like, oh, I'm not scared. I have Isagenix, And so I went home, and then I noticed that my throat kind of a little bit scratchier, and I couldn't breathe very well. My husband, commented, he's like, you sound sick. I'm like, I'm not sick. He's like, but you sound sick. I'm like, I'm not sick. So what I did was I got our diffuser, and I put it right beside my bed. I put some water in it. I just put in about 4 drops of this into it. And then I also would, breathe it. One night I even rubbed it on my face, although that was a little bit much for me. And I put it on the 12-hour setting, which if you guys know anything about our diffuser, it's amazing because it will run for 12 hours. It runs for 2 minutes on, 2 minutes off, 2 minutes on, 2 minutes off. So it will last the whole night, which is the only diffuser that I've ever seen do that. And so all night long as I was sleeping, I had Airway just blowing by my face. And my cold was so short-lived. I can't even explain how short it was, but I was so thankful I had this product on hand. So as you guys go into the cold and flu and yucky season, I'm now running it in my kids' rooms because my one son he kind of had a sore throat or a stuffy nose. And so every night before they go to bed, rather than putting lavender in there, I rub lavender on their feet, and then I put some drops of this in their diffuser, and then I just let their diffuser go for about 6 hours every single night. And even though we were homeschool, a lot of times when you are a homeschool family and you go into the school system, your kids kind of get a shock to their system and they come home with everything. And our kids have been in school for a month and they have not missed a day of school yet. So I am counting it that our Isagenix is really helping, and we're being proactive and just, eating really well and using the oils to really supplement our health.
I love it. Okay, so the last thing that we're going to talk to you guys about tonight is what are our non-negotiable products. So you've already got to see a lot of them and hear a lot about them as we've been chatting about the other questions. And so for Jenny, Shauna, and I, what we're going to do is if there's a product that has not been talked about yet that we absolutely recommend, especially for this time of year, we're going to share those now. And Shauna, I know you're driving, so even if you have it, unless it's already in your hand, do not reach for it. You drive, girl, be safe. So the only ones, like we've talked about the bars and how it's like, oh my gosh, meal already ready to go. I don't even need a blender. Here you go, 4-year-old, eat this for your snack today. We've talked about the shakes. I've talked to you guys about the hydrate. I love that Jenny talked about the whey thins and Shauna did too. Nitro, e-shots. One of the things that I want to put more emphasis on so there's 3 products. So this Ionix. So this is something my husband is like, he doubles this up every day. We go through 2 bottles of this a month just for him. And it has helped so much with the change in season, but the change in schedule and just how busy we've been and just like stress levels going all over the place. Having something that we know is naturally helping our bodies fight fatigue and stress has been such a godsend. So if Ionix isn't on your auto ship, I don't know how you're functioning. Get it on your auto ship. We like the liquid just because we can feel it working in our bodies so much faster. But I know a lot of people love the versatility of the powder. So you can do either one. But I want to talk about these 2 oils really quickly. The first one is frankincense. So many people are like, oh, that's like the Jesus oil. Yes, baby Jesus got frankincense. But one of the things that I don't know a lot of people know how to use frankincense in this way. But we actually like to put frankincense. We put like a drop or 2 underneath our tongue, or my husband will put a drop of it in his e-shot. And what's really cool is that frankincense, like, it's amazing how it works, but the vibration, the frequency of frankincense is so much higher than what a normal human body operates at, that this is kind of like a little couple drops of an e-shot, like underneath your tongue, and you will feel so much better. So like for low energy days, or as the weather starts to change, you guys, or if you just are like, oh my God, I need this e-shot to be like e-shot on steroids kind of a thing, put a drop of your frankincense in your e-shot. My husband actually thinks the e-shots taste better with them in it. Did not know that. And then lavender. Jenny talked about lavender a little bit, but we love diffusing lavender or content is one of the blends that they have. Those, we diffuse those in our kids' room at night. Or I like to drop some lavender on the bottoms of their feet like Jenny was talking about. And it's just such a soothing oil, especially for a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old with, needing to make sure that they get their rest and that nap times are effective and all of that. It's just been such a blessing to have all these little added layers of support as we help our family be successful this season. So Shauna, I know you have to hop off soon, so I'd love to go to you next. We've talked about a lot of products, but what are like some of the ones we maybe haven't touched on yet that are like your go-to, especially during this busy season?
One of my favorites, and it's one that I use every night, my husband uses every night, is the sleep spray. Not that I necessarily need help falling asleep, but it helps me stay asleep, and I feel like I get a lot better, deeper sleep. Get necessarily always super long nights. So yeah, sleep spray.
I love it. Did you guys hear her? She was talking about the sleep spray. So I want to, I'm so sorry, Shauna. I think we lost her again. That's okay, Shauna. We know that you're jumping in to go back to work, and we so appreciate you like hopping on with us as much as possible. But you guys, the sleep spray is such an incredible product. And yeah, I can't even believe I forgot to bring that one downstairs because it wasn't in my pantry. It's upstairs by our bed. So Jenny, can you jump in real quick and share like what are your go-to non-negotiable products that we haven't already really touched on?
Yeah, I was sitting here trying to think about it. I would say one of the products that I think is really good, this is a non-negotiable for me any part of the year. I take 2 a day every single day, and that's the Isoflesh. So this is a magnesium supplement, and I don't know where I came along the data, but a long time ago, I came along the fact that magnesium is the second highest mineral that we are deficient in. And so not only does IsoFlush help to keep you regular and help to flush out those toxins, but it also is giving you a mineral that you really, really need for your body. And in my humble opinion, I believe that your immune system is in your gut. And so the IsoFlush, by keeping you regular, is going to help your gut health stay at a great level. And so that's just going to help you to fight off anything, that's going to be coming your way. So, for me, I take 2 a days. I will give the kids 1 a day. So that would be a good thing. And I'm going to talk about a really weird product, but if you have little kids and they get hangry, I would suggest you try it. When my 5.5-year-old was tiny, I just kept these in a plastic baggie in my purse. And most people are like, snacks, yeah, they're okay. My youngest loves them. He would break into them and just eat them continually. So they were something really good to keep in my purse to fight off those angry moments that he would have when I was somewhere and I didn't want to stop and buy him a snack, or he wanted me to go through the drive-thru because he was so hungry. And I was like, here, have some snacks. And he would eat them. The lavender, like Rachel was talking about, and then combining the sleep spray and the lavender together. Rub some lavender, if you have pets, rub some lavender on your wrists and then use the sleep spray. I've had numerous people tell me that they slept okay with the sleep spray, but adding in that lavender, either diffusing it by your bed, rubbing it on the bottoms of your feet, putting it on your pulse points, really just help them get some more REM sleep. And so as our schedules have changed, people are probably not getting as much sleep maybe as they're used to, because summer looks different. Maybe you can sleep in on some days and you're up and going and getting things done. So getting that REM sleep is really, really important so that you feel rested. Ionix is another big one. I take my Ionix after my workout just so I can help keep the cortisol levels down. I didn't use it this summer, so I've started to add it in this fall. And I think my mom and my dad swear by Ionix. They say, using Ionix, that's like the one reason why they never get sick. So I think that it also probably helps to boost our immune system, and it's giving those minerals that our body needs to, really operate at an optimum level. Cleanse for Life is one that my kids really love. I don't have it on hand, so I can't show it to you, but if I could keep Cleanse for Life on hand, I would have to buy like 8 bottles a year. It's like my oldest and my youngest favorite product. I mean, they would just drink it like it was grape juice.
I love it. That's my husband too. He just swigs it right out of the bottle. I'm like, I need to mentally prepare myself because it's so potent for me. But he's just guzzling it out of the fridge. I'm like, you are a weirdo. Okay, you guys, I want to leave you with one final story that I think is so important to share, especially this time of year. I can't even tell you how many times I see people posting about this on Facebook or Instagram, and maybe you're somebody who's posting like this as well. My husband's closing the door. But I see so many people posting about, oh my gosh, back to school costs so much money, and new clothes and supplies and gas, going to sports are expensive, and school fees and all of that. You guys, I have the sweetest story of a beautiful single mom I know, and she lives in California, and it's just so sweet to hear little wins, right? Just little wins that to us, to a lot of us who are we've budgeted, or we have this money saved up, or maybe you're a dual income family, or whatever that looks like. But for this sweet mom, back to school has always been so stressful for her. So stressful. And so one of the things, she has been a loyal product user for a long, long time. And, once in a while, she's we'll have an opportunity to share Isagenix with somebody, because her world is so small. It's her and her kids, and her and her kids, and her and her kids. But when she shares, just like what we're doing right now, all of us are on this call that are sharing with you tonight. No one's paying us to be here to tell you this. We're telling you this because of how much we care about it. And what's amazing is that one of the best products Isagenix has is their wealth creation solution. And so for them to say, hey, Jenny, thank you so much for helping us find these people that we wouldn't have been able to find without you. Because of that, we want to give you some cash back on your products, or we want to help you, here's some money. And then Jenny can use that to pay for school supplies, or pay for sports cleats, or pay for her products, or whatever that looks like. And so to have this friend of mine tell me that because she shared with her first 2 people and she was able to make a couple $100, being able to pay for school supplies without having to like feel that anxious feeling inside of her was one of the best gifts she could have given herself this summer. And I love hearing stories like that because sometimes I think I take it for granted because I've been sharing Isagenix intentionally for 4 years and the income has so incredibly blessed our family. But now that we're back to school and like signing my son up for extra courses and extra activities and things like that, and it's not something that I have to stress about. But we started sharing this intentionally for the income because we became a family with kiddos. And we wanted to be able to not have to worry about saying yes to things that we knew were going to give them great experiences. And so I encourage you, if you feel stressed out, first of all, take a swig of Ionix. But if you're feeling stressed out, the number one cause of stress is finances. I don't care what research you read, finances are going to be up there. Okay, so if that is a stressor in your life, I encourage you to talk to the person who shared Isagenix with you and just say, you know, how could one of the best products Isagenix has, their wealth creation opportunity, how can this serve my family? And just be open to learning how it works because it's this. It's sharing something that you love, even if it's having a convenient way to feed your kids in the car. I don't know a single mom who doesn't want that, but that's all it is opening your mouth and sharing with people. We all do it all the time. Why not do it and get school supplies paid for? Why not do it and be able to buy your kid those cool new shoes this year? Whatever that's going to look like for you, whatever will warm your heart, I really encourage you. Isagenix can be that for you. It's not just for helping our bodies feel good. It's for helping our stress levels. It's for helping our relationships. It's all of it. Okay, so if you have questions, get back at the person who shared this call with you. And we're so excited to jump into this season. If you have any questions about any of these products, isaproduct.com or isagenixhealth.net, great resources, or pop into Lean Body for Life and go ahead and post away. We love you guys. Thanks so much for tuning in tonight.